going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, right? Oh, man, it's the last week of September. Can you imagine? Time is flying, right? I know I'm not the only one that's saying, where in the world is time going, right? We got all these plans and we'll do all these fantastic things, right? Whether it's traveling or starting a business or new relationship or new diet or something. We got all this stuff going on, and just where's the time go, right? And so, but I know that this is where we have to really kind of focus on what's important. We really have to focus on some discipline habits. If we don't have them, create some, right? And then just take one foot and put it in front of the other, right? I mean, what better time than now? I mean, it's a beautiful summer day here in Texas. And I don't complain about the heat, and it's been warm. I grew up in the Midwest where it was cold, and boy, I'll tell you, it's hard to warm up. You can always cool off, man, but it's just hard to warm up. Ooh, the chill gets in your bones, right? Anyway, so, man, it's been, for me, interesting. Last week's guests were phenomenal. Go back and check them out. They're good friends of mine, and both two different parts of the country and doing different things, but the common theme is that they overcame objective. They overcame self-inflicting thinking. They overcame just life showing up, because it shows up to all of us. Life is not going to discriminate. But I've learned, though, when my turn comes, is to get excited about what's next. Because I know from experience that if I show up as I'm doing right now, going through just a current event, my recovery process for my prostate surgery, which went well. And, now I've been able to start doing some physical exercises. And, what you may not know about me is that, I'm a traditional guy that's exercising 5 or 6 days a week, most, if not all of my life, from an early athletic career all the way through life, right? So getting back into that, I gotta tell on myself, right? Oh man, my wife and I were in San Antonio. We had an opportunity. Our daughter's family's there, and 3 grandbabies, and that's where I was last week, actually, on one of the shows. And anyway, so I was in this, we walked the first day and walked again the second day in San Antonio, where they're at. There's a lot of little hills and all this other stuff, so I was feeling pretty good, right? So the next day, I did a little slow jog. I mean, I shouldn't even say the word jog, but doing what I could to get by. And man, I gotta tell you, the next day, oh man, the next day, I don't know if you've ever had it where you haven't exercised in a while, and you maybe you overdo it or something, and you just, every muscle that you think about moving hurts. Every muscle you move really hurts. Oh man, that was me. And I'm like, oh man, then I got a virus behind that. So anyhow, I say all that to say that the stinking thinking was racing in my head for a minute, right? Man, it's going to take you forever to get back to doing what you were doing. You're never going to get back. All that crap, right? And like I talked to you guys on this show, man, I hit the pause button eventually, right? Because I knew that this too shall pass. I've done it before. Not that I'm a super person or anything like that, but what we talk about on this show, anybody can apply in their lives right now, right? Change that stinking thinking. Be aware of it, first of all. I was falling down that rabbit hole, man. Right? I mean, man, all this stuff. Anyhow, so I'm talking to you today from a space that says, man, it doesn't. Stinking thinking is something everybody is subject to. It's what we do when we come across it, right? So I got through that, and I'm feeling better today. And this morning I did a little cycling, because I ride bikes and walk and all that other stuff, right? So today was a nice bike ride, slow bike ride. Not like it was pre-surgery, but it was a bike ride. Again, finding the joy in what I'm being able to do, right? And man, I stopped worrying about what I couldn't do, and I started to enjoy the moment, right? I'm going to say that again. I stopped worrying about what I couldn't do, and I started to enjoy the moment, because that's the real gift in life, living just for the day right now, in this instant, is the joy in life. I don't miss anything then. You know, I can see the birds flying low, and you know, happened to be in Galveston, and they're flying low along the water, the edge of the water. You know, the big ping, you know, this pelican is just soaring like that, right? I mean, they don't even move their wings; they're just soaring, and can feel the waves, hear the waves, feel the waves, smell the waves, the salt in the air, and it was like changing in an instant, man. So, and that's kind of how my experience in the hospital was, and why I kind of came back with a message around, living life during the pause. It's really just been, it's been very interesting, very deep. I'm looking at next month doing a session around, hey, Darlene, doing a session around what that experience has been, because I know I'm not the only one, right? And I know that we all have experiences that we need to share. So anyhow, if you're here to see our guest, Luni Gwapp, we've had some problems. I'm not sure how it's going to end up. I'm going to leave the stage open for him to show up. A dynamic young man out of Houston, rapper, but he's a focused young man. I mean, he's been through some things that we want to be able to connect to that younger audience as well. We don't want to exclude anybody, right? Because we all need, in this community, Conversations with Geoff, hey, we are about welcoming folks in. We are about providing something that you can use, or just a place to come and listen. Grab a chair, grab a seat, and go back and listen to some episodes. Listen to the current one, right? So anyway, for those of you that are looking for him, if he comes up, I'll be sure to bring him up on the stage, right? So anyway, I'm bouncing around a little bit. I don't want to do that. Hey, yeah, we are live. Darlene, good to see you. So anyway, I thought I would just share a little bit about my life experiences and the power of the pause. And what that means is that every time we get a setback in life, you know, there's a session or a period of time when you have to say, okay, wait a minute. And then that, okay, wait a minute time, you either ignore the messages and you do pick it up and do something else, or try and redo what already didn't work, or you take a moment to pause and really kind of look at what you're missing. You know, look at the whisper that shows up in that space, right? I mean, when you connect, we're all balls of energy, right? I mean, the human is the highest level of energy, the animal is second, and natural resources is third, right? So we are just giving off and receiving tons of energy, man. So the messaging in these time periods is just phenomenal if we take the time to relax and listen to it, right? And so I've been doing that, man. And there's been some amazing messages that I've seen that have kind of pushed me, you know, taking me out of my comfort zone, right? And we like to do that here at Conversations with Geoff. For those of you that are here for the first time, we like to move you out of your comfort zone, right? We want you to become aware of your stinking thinking. We want you to, hey, stop being scared and start to do some things differently. And get uncomfortable being comfortable when you know comfortable is not getting you what you want, right? So, man, I just... So we got some really cool things we're looking to do in October with some guests, and then I'm going to start doing some things that are going to be focused on the power of the comeback, and then some tools that we put together to kind of have some fun with, right? Learn how to do some things that you didn't think you could do before. Learn how to overcome years and years of different things, right? Hey, you know, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Geoff Tyson. I know it's the middle of the show, and I'm known as the king of the comeback, or comeback king, rather. And I got that name because of my life's journey. I tell everybody all the time, you know, from that 5-year-old boy who already thought he would never amount to anything, and those negative messages that he had already heard, to the guy that was now on top of the game as a corporate guy, and you know, all the things in between there, but on the inside, he had neglected to develop the emotional side, the spiritual side, and then the people that he loved the most is my parents. You know, they both got sick at the same time, and they began a new journey in my life, right? And so, I mean, just come back. We all have them, and we all need to understand that they're gifts. They're gifts that bring magic. We want to look at the message in the magic, and I kind of wrote these words down, and then from that, there's some momentum that we get. Why do we get momentum? If you stay in there, you're gonna get some clarity. Clarity is a gift, man. I operate. I don't have to have everything, excuse me, everything all clear for me to take action on things. But when I have something that's crystal clear, oh man, we get out of the way. I'm sure I'm not the only one that once there's something I know I want and I see it, and you go out and get it, right? And so that's what this is about, man. Listening to the magic, feeling the magic, being uncomfortable in that space. What's the message in that magic? And then the clarity from it. Let's check it out. When you get a little more clarity, you get a little more courage. So you get courage, you start to take more action, right? And when you take more action, you get what? You get some experiences. You have some successes. You have some bumps in the head. You have some things that aren't okay, but you're getting confidence in all those things, right? I mean, it's just simple things in life that we don't put into play when we need to, that separate us from really getting to where we want to go. I mean, just really simple stuff like that. So I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and say hi. I don't oftentimes get a chance to talk more than 5 or 6 minutes during the show. And so I think I'm going to probably have some specific topics to talk about, because we are doing some legendary speaking. We are doing some training and education. And most importantly, we're wanting to build a community of comeback warriors that are there showing up, understand the gift of the magic, or curious about it, or doing it and killing it, right? And the messaging and the comeback and the momentum that you get from the clarity, the courage, and the confidence that you take action on. So be on the lookout for more of that. And if you have anybody that you say, hey man, this person would be a good guest on your show, Geoff, reach out and let us know. Or if you're catching the show and you think, man, I think I have a message I want to share, let's chat it up. I put in my information right quick here in chat so you can get it. All right. I don't do this very often, so I gotta make sure I can spell it right. Yeah. And hit me up and let me know. I encourage you to do that. And remember that we all have the opportunity to have some things in life that we don't think we deserve, maybe, or we've tried and we failed, didn't get it, or we had it and we lost it. I've been there and done that. So don't give up on yourself. Step into this community. Show up. Make sure that that you subscribe, get involved, share this piece, and be on the lookout for some things coming up here in the next 2 or 3 months that are going to be really outstanding. Going to be fun to do. Some things you can take and work with. And man, I had something else I wanted to say. Let me see if I can get it really quickly here. If not, I'll catch it later on in the week. I'll just tell you this, that I said it earlier at the beginning of the show about forgiving yourself and cutting yourself some grace, right? And that's kind of where I'm at, not only in my physical life, but in my business side. I talked about the real estate piece. And oh, by the way, go to my website. We do have a beautiful property in Galveston that we are selling now. Great vacation home. Galveston is not the Caribbean, but it's a nice up and coming beach. It's a great beach for Texas, because cities like Houston, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas are only 3 to 5 hours away from there. Right? So they're there to, the regional beaches are coming back. And, if someone is needing a place, you like the house hacking idea, there's a 600 square foot apartment on it. So I encourage you to check it out. It's on, where is it? It's on Zillow and some other sites now for sale by owners. Getting ready going, excuse me, on the NLS, 5220 Avenue P and a half. Take a peek at that. And then, hey, Steph, yeah, you're right. You have to push out the comfort zone. Nothing changes until you step outside of that. And you always hear it all the time, right? It's the greatest gifts you get are on the other side of everything that you fear. Man, So I'm facing some things that are going to be a little new for me, and I tell you, I have a little trepidation about it, but I have to practice what I preach, right? And so to all of you that stopped in while I was here, Darlene, Steph, appreciate you. I hope you got something out of this, and make sure you subscribe and go back and check out last week's if you missed it. And remember this. We are responsible for our thinking. We can change our thinking, man, right? Not I can't, it's I can. Not maybe, it's I will. I think so, it's I must. You guys know where I'm going with this, right? Nothing can stop us from reaching our destiny. We will not be denied. Find yourself something that you can use all day, every day to hit the reset button and reposition your thoughts so they are speaking power into your day. They are speaking belief into your day. They are speaking the energy that you need to overcome life's issues because they're going to be there. So anyway, I appreciate everybody. Have a great time. And see you on the next episode. Take care now. Bye-bye.